This podcast is sponsored by The Spot. The Spot is a creative company that uses art science, the study of color, and image theory to positively impact your feel-good. The Spot features the art, music, fashion, and graphics of Voodoo Fae, the modern renaissance. Come visit The Spot at 572 Myrtle Avenue in Brooklyn, or check them out online at thespotforart.com.
So Tom and I have been watching Lovecraft Country.
And the rest of the world has been too.
We do our own impromptu podcast over the phone where we're both like, we're all sitting there like this. Well, what the fuck just happened?
Right.
Now, I told Tom my theory.
Right.
In my personal opinion, the writers of the show had 2 to 3 seasons of plot, and they tried to incorporate all 3 of the seasons in a 1 season.
Right.
That's why it feels like you have a great episode, but then they'll take you in a completely different direction the following episode. Like, think about it. We are at the midpoint of the season, and 2 characters.
No, it's 2 episodes left. Oh, you're talking about the midpoint?
Yeah, I'm talking. We were okay. So this is episode 7, right?
Yes. No, this is episode 10, I believe.
This is episode 10?
I think so. Hold on. I'm not sure. I don't think it's 7. I feel like last night was like 10, right? I felt like, we got up to...
No, last night wasn't 10.
Last night was 9. Last night was 8. You're right. Really? Last night was 8.
Well, I mean, look at it like this. We've had 2 characters that were been in the background for most of the series. And the past 2 weeks, they've got pretty much their own episode.
Yeah.
I actually tweeted it out. I said, the sex scene from last night looks like when you leave the spaghetti in the microwave for a lot longer than it's supposed to be, and you go and open up your microwave and it's all over the place. Right. That's how the sex scene looks.
So let me start out by saying this about Lovecraft Country. I appreciate the amount of money that HBO is putting into this. It has a very high production value. I think the actors are really strong. High caliber acting. I feel like everyone is doing an amazing job. The only issue that I take from every single episode is that I feel like the writers have gotten together in this room and there are no bad ideas. It's just kind of like whatever you think, hey, let's have this, sure, toss it in the episode. Let's have this, sure, toss it in the episode. And so now the episode loses its focus. And so as I watch the episode, it's this weird, it feels like every episode is an anthology series. And so it seems like everyone has their own, an episode focuses on a main character, but what is the overlying story? Is the overlying story getting these pages from the Book of Adam? Are they overlying, is the overlying story, Tick's father's homosexuality? Is the overlying story Letty's, what other things Letty is getting into, and now Letty's pregnancy, Letty's older sister, who I cannot remember her name, but her living her life as a white woman, sleeping with a white man who is actually a woman. I mean, there's so many things happening.
The Asian succubus.
Right, the Asian succubus.
And I never thought we would see a live action version of tentacle porn.
Right.
I never thought that's something I guess I could cross off my bucket list.
Yes. And just so you know, my absolute favorite episode actually was with the succubus, which it's episode 6, Meet Me in Daegu. And that was my favorite episode, but only because it was a very coherent story. It just was about what this particular woman, Jia, was going through. She was dealing with the fact that she was the ghost of a woman's daughter who was now this entity that had to take the souls of men. And if she wanted to actually become a human being, she had to kill 100 men. It was like a very straightforward story. Mm-hmm. Now, the episode did get a lot of flack because Tick in his relationship with Jia was very affectionate and romantic, and his relationship with a black woman, which was Letty, was very, very dysfunctional and
Well,
aggressive.
I told you over the phone.
Nope,
With
nope,
G.I.
nope, nope, nope. We're not gonna say that. We're
With
not,
G.I.,
we're not gonna say that.
he
What we're
was
going to
a
say,
virgin.
oh,
Yeah, he
okay.
was a
Okay,
virgin.
right.
And with Letty, I mean, he was someone who was sexually active then.
I just feel like, and I think a lot of people agree with this, it's very important as to what, like, we as black men, um, set the tone as towards how black women should be treated.
But
And
this
so
show is written by a black woman, though.
I think it's a team of writers. I think it's a team of writers,
It's
but
women. It's women that are in the room, and they have a very strong voice.
yeah, that's how come I'm so confused. Because once again, it's kind of like, we set the tone as towards how black women should be treated. And I don't know, like, I'm not in the writer's room. And so I don't know, like, it is very possible that there is a reason for this. And it is very possible that they may
Well,
not
I
feel the
told you
same way.
what my reason is from he was working with the fact that he's not a virgin anymore, and also in his mind before he got to know Letty, he's thinking she's this woman of the world and she's sexually active. But then when you come to find out that isn't her, that's just a mask that she wears to the outside world.
But you know where a lot of debate has come from? The fact that not even just their sex scene, his interaction with her before that was really shady.
His interaction with everyone is shady. Like, he's a dick.
Yes,
Like, let's not even sugarcoat. He's a dick to everybody. He's a dick to his father. He was a dick to his uncle.
But when wasn't he that?
When wasn't he? Never.
When was he really nice and affectionate? And,
oh yeah.
And that's where the like.
You know what it is? I guess once he started using said dick, he became more of a dick inside of his head.
Right. I'm just saying that is something that, and I listen, I am not a writer for HBO, and I give you all the accolades, I give you all the respect because you're doing the work, you're putting the story out there for us to see. But I am curious, like, you got to think about that. I mean, you're sending a message.
I give more credence to the argument of, he treated Letty bad and he treated this foreigner, G.I. foreigner, different than how he treated the African-American queen. He's just an asshole to everybody. Like, even to his old father, his father is telling him about his sexuality, and all he could think about, and the first thing out of his mouth is, he calls my F word. Right.
So, yeah, I mean, you're right. It's just that, and I agree. Like, he is not a good person fundamentally. But that being said, it's kind of like you make him this flawed character, but then, like, I just want them to take note of how that looks to outsiders, how that looks to a lot of people. And it's something they should pay attention to.
I think a big part of it
season two. For season two,
season 2 is in season 1.
I know. Season 7 is in season 1.
I mean, me personally, I love the episodes where you get back to on track and you actually see, like, you mean like episode 1, 2, and we're still waiting to get back to. I wasn't really a fan of the fact that his little cousin was
You didn't like the aliens with afros? Oh man!
I felt like I was watching Parliament Funkadelic, but she.
Yeah, man. And listen, we are black, and we mock with love. We're watching the show. We support the show. We want the show to come back another season, but we're making jokes about it because realistically, it is, like, you can't deny this. It is unfocused.
You know what I would compare it to? I'm gonna make another food comparison. If you go to a restaurant and you order, I just want sauteed shrimp over rice, but they bring you back jambalaya. It's probably a good dish.
Right, yeah. Jambalaya.
I didn't want any sausage tonight. I just wanted shrimp tonight.
Right. Right. And so, yeah, like with Lovecraft Country, I can't rate it.
I felt last night's episode outside of the premiere was probably the best episode.
Oh,
because
last night's episode, it's also titled Jigabobo. Oh, the pickaninnies were terrifying.
Yes,
when I saw them, I was like, okay, let's cut the lights back on in the room. I think I saw somebody over there.
I have a phobia of clowns.
Everybody has a phobia of clowns. Nobody likes clowns.
So when I saw them start dancing, I just thought of Pennywise.
Yes.
when he just danced.
Shout out to those little girls. Their dancing was
they were popping and
yeah, exactly. I just want to give a shout out to those girls. They were amazing. And one was called, I think one of the characters is called Topsy. And what's the other one? It's Topsy and Bopsy, I think their names are. And
but the one thing I don't like is how no one ever communicates with anyone else. Everyone goes on these isolated self missions. And if you just stop and communicate with the team, once she found out her sister was having dealings with the silver-haired lady, she was supposed to pull her to the side and tell her your side. Like keeping secrets hasn't benefited them in any way.
Yeah, that's true. I'm actually frozen because I'm sitting here thinking of Topsy and Bopsy right now, dancing in my living room.
It was that and that bowl of spaghetti sex scene last night, man. It was just like meat sauce falling everywhere.
And I just want to give a shout out to Topsy was played by Bianca Bruton, and Bopsy was played by Kaylin Harris. Shout out to both of you.
Terrified.
You did an amazing job.
When they appeared on scene, someone pumped the AC to about 48 degrees in my house.
Exactly.
I was able to see my breath in my house.
Exactly. So yeah. So that being said, we gave our criticism of Lovecraft Country.
And I would love to see a season 2. If there is a season, maybe they could give us seasons
10, 11, and 12.
10, 11, 12, all in season 2.
All in season 2. So, that is one of the things we are watching.
I have a feeling I just don't want it to turn into Westworld.
I don't know.
Maybe they already doesn't J.J. Abrams have something to do with Westworld too?
So I think he does. He's one of the.
So it's like he just sprinkles a little of that J.J. Abrams. I'm gonna mess your head up, dust.
Right, yeah. Throw some confusion in there.
Here you go. Bam! Okay. I just took it up a notch.
Yes. But yeah, I have high hopes for Westworld. I look forward to not Westworld, Lovecraft Country. I look forward to season 2. I want to see how it ends. I especially loved how this particular episode ended with Tick controlling the vampire Lovecraftian type creature.
That was a demon dog out to save Black people from police brutality. That's what that was. Whenever we are being abused by the cops, we could call on that demon dog.
If we only could have that in real life today.
You've been listening to Two Brothers at a Water Cooler with Mike and Tom, produced by Jamie Fernandez and Peter Bune. Rate and review this show on Apple Podcasts, and you might find your review in a future episode.